I'm Chase.
And I'm Timothy.
And this is Customer Service.
Welcome back. We are live here in coming to you from the multi-brand retailer out of Boulder, Colorado.
Don't cut it.
That is Canoe Club.
Yeah.
How we doing?
Eloquent. Fine. You know.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. Feels like we were just in here, but the once a week is. It feels like we just did this, but it's been.
I don't know. Last week was weird. I didn't adjust what I was doing before I sat down. Last week was a weird one. I had a death in my family, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It was, it's Abby's grandfather, not, but it's still. So I didn't go anywhere. I took care of Gia so she could go be there with her family. But, kind of it's a tough situation to,
Yeah.
I've been through it before, and it's just like, man versus nature stuff. You know what I mean? Like your human brain is like, fix it or it'll be fine, or
It's just like, no.
It's not. You're working against nature, and it's a tough thing to deal with, and it was, it's incredibly tough on Abby. This is going to start out on a kind of a low note, but we'll bring it back up. Don't worry. My grandpa was very similar to him in that, Italian immigrant, started a business, was very much about like good morals and all these things, and it's tough because I think that like that type of like. I've kind of lost to that type of guy to a certain degree.
Oh, for sure.
There's different variations, but there's something special about like good grandpas,
Yeah, I feel
where
you,
it's where it's like half my idea of like business and the American dream and like a lot of sort of like general morals and principles really, I think, come from that. And listen, I understand that like it's a tricky thing to think about like grandparents in that like it's wild that you knew them from like what? 40, 50 on? Like, that's not like, let's say 50 on. It's not like, it's like, you knew them for one half of their lives. You know what I
mean? Yeah.
So you knew one version of them. And I think it's like the nice thing that you get as a kid. And I understand why it's complicated for adults, but one thing that's nice when you have a good pair of grandparents is that like, it's, they're like the most idealized version because they're like they've fully become who they are.
You know what I mean? They're not life experience. They've
sorted a lot of things out in a lot of
cases,
and it feels it feels like a very like steady and secure person. Let alone that like Abby and I had special ones. I think, and that's really cool. But it's also very tough to lose them.
Oh, for sure.
So tough week overall, no question. I was on solo dad duty, which I'm gonna be honest, and part of this is. I would say most of the things I do in my life it might be all, to be honest with you, are out of some sort of spite.
Yeah.
I think half the reason I do what I did now is because when I first started, I had no experience. I was from Indiana. I knew no one wanted me. The business did not want me or my dumb opinions. And I knew I was like behind everybody else because I didn't have money and I didn't have access and I didn't have, you know what I mean? So a lot of it was like I got shit kicked out of me for the first couple of years and I got like multiple times. I'm sure things would be different now. Hopefully we've evolved, but like pretty like openly made fun of for like saying the wrong thing or, and it was just like from then on, I'm like, well, now I'm going to have to show you all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a little bit what I have with like dad stuff is like, I think that like dads are still thought of so smallly. Like, I don't know, that's not the right, word, but like, it's like, there's still this assumption that like, we're so dumb that we could never do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well.
Look, plenty of dads out there throughout the years who really, really set a piss poor example. But I think that like, I just don't like that, and I'm very convinced I can do anything anybody else can. Especially when someone tells me I can't. So, I did every single thing that I was supposed to do. We didn't miss anything other than I went to that was a little bit of a communication error between Abby and I. But I went to the wrong day on a thing, but I'm telling you, she was ready, dude. Lunch packed perfectly, clothes perfect.
So
we were
sick.
there early. I'm never late. We did
punctual.
Every single thing that I was like, oh, don't worry about it. If it's too complicated, I'm like, nope, we're doing it. We're doing a full week.
Yeah,
and we did it. We did a great job.
Yeah.
No issues. I like hanging out with my kid alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
not that like I would prefer Abby was there. It makes life a lot easier, and certainly like. more fun when your partner's around because it's like, if you think of something funny or you want to say something or like my kid said something
She does
funny,
something crazy, which I'm
I
sure
gotta
she
like
did.
tell her, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
you don't have anyone to tell. And but it's also kind of nice like having a quiet, more like reflective week anyway, all things considered.
Yeah, sure.
So, but I was no slouch. I got it all done. Dinner's all done by me. We only ate out once.
What was it? Chipotle?
Chipotle. That's good. Gia loves it.
Yeah, you said that she loves that shit.
And I do too. And Ivy doesn't like it too much, so that's like a treat for us. And yeah, we did. But it's also nice because like we just like her and I like a lot of the same things, and she's independent as long as she's close. You know what I mean?
She's like a cat in that way, where she wants to be with you, but is
Do her
down
own
to do her own
thing.
thing. But like, for instance, she wants to be laying on you, but with her iPad.
Yeah,
Not
or
necessarily-
like she likes to paint with me, so she'll
Yeah,
do that
yeah,
like kind
yeah.
of close,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
nice. So we do that, and it's chill. We just listen to music.
Yeah.
Went to the record store and got some albums and just hung out and
Because
did
she
that.
likes when you play the tapes and play your vinyl and shit.
Well,
right?
she likes doing it.
Oh,
so she
yeah.
likes changing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is funny because sometimes I'll be like sitting and doing nothing, and she'll just like sing a song. You know what I mean? That like I listen to a lot, and I'm like, I did not know like she knew the lyrics to that.
Yeah.
Starting to get a little dicey because I'm realizing some of those are lyrics that I'm not thinking about are kind of sinking in.
Sure.
There's some questionable Chapel Rowan that she knows,
Yeah.
and definitely some others. She's doing some part of a MJ Lenderman song, and I was like, oh, that's. I don't think she understands, but yeah. So it's it was honestly like for a bad week, I had a nice week, if that makes sense.
Nice.
So because it was also like it's nice that one nice thing that can be like when your partner's not around is it's nice to just like not have to talk or not really have a reason to
I
talk
feel
all
you.
the time. Like as much as I like doing that, I'll also work myself into a lather for no reason. So it was all things considered a good week.
Nice.
Yeah. But tough.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you?
I mean, it was a bit busy ass week. Outside of personal stuff, we also have been cranking here, which was also dope. We got it all done, even with Brondo in and out. Yeah, just been busy here. We're deep in getting product right now. As we're talking, I hear UPS scanning something in, so we're getting a delivery today. Imported some other stuff. A bunch of shit came in yesterday, like some Howland sweaters.
I don't think people know how close they are to a collaboration release.
Yeah, it is in
I'm
boxes.
not gonna say
and
this
should
is-
be shipping hopefully Wednesday.
There's still a lot of work to do for it, but yeah, we're in the mud with it.
Yeah, it's
so.
something that we've been cooking up for a little bit.
Kind of like our longest prep and back and forth time, I'd say, to make this happen.
Oh, it's been a long time.
And maybe the longest running like idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's been out there. Like I feel like this goes back to like us working in the store.
always talked
like we would
about
talk
it.
about
Yeah.
doing it,
So we'll do a specific podcast about it.
Sure.
Maybe we'll wear the thing and talk about it.
Well, there'll be YouTube video. There'll be all the stuff we
we'll have
always
all
do,
those
so
things.
don't worry about that.
So, but when that releases, I think people are going to be stoked. I'm really stoked for it. One thing I was going to talk about is Michelle and I are headed to Arizona next week. We're going to Phoenix, Arizona.
Tucson, Arizona.
Going to Arizona.
The thing is, Chase, you have been talking about this trip for what feels like maybe a year and a half.
I just letting everybody know way in advance. Cheddar
Trust-
Pie is going to be gone.
If anyone here does not know when, where, what, how, they've had their ears plugged for upwards of a year.
And maybe you've tuned out the exact pitch of my voice. But I don't think you have. I think it cuts through the bullshit. So yeah, going to Arizona, got a little wedding to go to.
What did we do about the suit, pal?
Well, still figuring it out.
No, you don't have it sorted yet.
Well, no.
Okay.
Well, I have a plan. We got that Bedford and Navy in on Friday, so I'm gonna try that on later on this afternoon. And I was hoping to find like a pair of black pants from La Mer or something, and then I can make that work. Or alternatively, I think we talked about it. J. Crew does like linen suits that are like not super slim, right?
Yeah.
I can. Okay, so my thinking is worst case Saturday, Sunday. I don't have it locked in. I haven't gotten because there's some other options here that I've been considering. If that doesn't work out, I'll go to J. Crew, get myself a nice little 1-2, boom, done, easy. You know what I mean? If I gotta hem my shit, I'll hem my shit. We're good. I'm not worried about it. 3, 2, 1, and we're back.
Sorry, we had a little cutout there.
Had a little cutout. UPS driver came in and is saying some bad things. I don't know.
Jesus Christ. No, it isn't. It's because he again. He can't not do it. He can't not do it. So we had to cut things out. He's got Cole working like a dog.
Yeah, no, I hate that I did that, but
God. Okay.
Anyway,
Well,
heading to Arizona. We did lock down the Airbnb last night, which I'm very excited about. It has a pool. Now, while it is February in Arizona, the day, like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are like wedding day, just Thursday is the wedding, and then we're staying the day prior and before. 87 degrees. So I am hoping that when the sun is at its peak and its absolute hottest, I get to take a dip in that pool.
mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for that.
Mm-hmm. What kind of free time do you think you're going to have around this wedding that you're going to be dog paddling around?
I don't know. We get in Tuesday. We're driving. Get in Tuesday night. I know that there's like some shit they got to do. They're going to, fuck with the flowers and all that. You know what I mean? So they're doing flower things. And then Wednesday, I don't know, man. I know there's a rehearsal dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And then Thursday's the wedding, which is like an all-day affair.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, I'm not sure. I don't know, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just along for the ride. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just go where I got to go.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure Leon's fed. And
is he coming with you? Is that the whole?
Yeah. Well, the thing is one, I'm actually, while I am not a big road trip guy, I am excited to drive through Arizona. I've never seen Arizona, the American Southwest.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to do the Will Ferrell bit in the office.
What is it? One of my favorite ecosystems.
Yeah, one of my favorite regions or something.
Mm-hmm.
Daryl says, and then he goes, just as comfortable at a ball game as I am at the opera.
Yeah.
But so I've never seen Arizona, and I haven't seen like big cacti or anything like that. So I am excited just to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
your idea of it is like what a kid's drawing of it would be.
Yeah, it is, dude.
It's just like red sand and a cactus with one flower on it and a snake.
Well, and here's
by.
the thing.
Coyote in the background with the moon.
That's it. Oh, you know what, buddy?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think so.
It's just going to look like a city. It's going to look like a hot city. You're not going through like the back country.
Well, no, we're going through. I'm going to pass by the Grand Canyon National Park. Not terribly close, but not terribly far. You know what I was curious about though, Timbo, on a UFO tip. I was seeing how close Snowflake, Arizona is. Now you know Snowflake.
Yeah. Now you've got my attention on something you might see that's interesting. Mm-hmm.
So, but it's not close.
Otherwise, I feel like it's gonna be a lot of like Qdobas that you're gonna see.
Yeah.
It's more the vibe.
And so going to Arizona, that's the major thing going on.
You've not been there ever?
No, I've never been to Arizona. I've never been to Las Vegas. I'm looking at a map now. I've been to Santa Fe, but that's about as far as in New Mexico I've been. But I've never been to Los Angeles, San Diego, Las Vegas, Arizona, and
Las Vegas. Watch out for Dollar Bet King Chase.
You know what?
He's coming to town. He's gonna have to lock you out.
I hear you drink for free in Las Vegas, and as a frugal individual, I would partake. So I might be doing some $5 bets there. Listen though. I don't think I'll ever find myself in Las Vegas.
I have a funny feeling if you lost one $5 bet, you would turn around and walk immediately out of the casino and start driving home.
I would take whatever money I got left over. I'd hit the buffet, and then that'd be it. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's exciting, buddy.
Timbo, let's consider. Cole here. He went to Blackhawk this last weekend. The casinos near us. Let's consider going out to Blackhawk on a Saturday evening.
Yeah,
we get a nice buffet. We get some crab legs. Play some dollar slots.
Yeah, I'll go and watch you.
Yeah, you wouldn't gamble.
Maybe. I'm gonna let Abby do it. She has good luck. I have bad luck. I have notoriously bad luck.
No, you know what? Abby would crush it in the casino.
Mm-hmm. Probably. I mean, she's got the best shot of any of us because she likes games and she's
just
got luck
the
on her
brain
side.
for it to figure it out.
Yeah.
And like you've said for a long time that Abby's lucky. Cole, you got your mic out. Tell me.
The first time we were doing like any sort of poker, which I know how to play, but I'd get so nervous that like there's people there that are spending big, and that I'd be like not having fun at all. That I'm like doing something wrong, or the guy's gonna have to correct me. And it's
that's the thing is, I loosely understand blackjack. I loosely understood blackjack before going into the casino in Palm Springs with my buddies last May, and I was like, okay, yeah. There's so many intricacies that like there's blackjack, and then there's playing blackjack at a casino at a table with dealer and other people, and like you said, it's embarrassing and it moves fast because everyone there, like, listen, man, you go into a casino, I could be wrong here. 85% of the people in that bitch are there multiple times a week. You know what I mean? Like you go into a casino and that's what people do with their time.
I don't want to
money.
like mess up someone's flow or something.
Well, and that's the
you know
thing
what I
is
mean?
you feel embarrassed because like I don't know. They're talking in lingo, it's shorthand. It's like I don't know what you mean. What do you? I don't know how you're able to do the math that quick to know what my next move should be. And there's things like you can't not do it on this call, or you know what I mean. So anyway, I'm with you. Slots are nice because nobody's there to bother you. In theory, I'm interested in blackjack if it's dollar buy-ins, but like my buddies were playing like $25 hands, and it's like
It's also like it's like a situation where like somebody will be like hearts or Trump, and I'm like nothing. I don't know what you're talking about at all. Like that, it could literally mean anything, and don't explain it to me, and I don't want to. You know what I mean? So I understand what you mean. Like as soon as they start talking in that like card language, it's like I don't know what any of this is, and
15,
I don't care.
15 plus raise hit. It's like,
listen,
dude.
I would go to like the NCIS the crank, you know what I mean? And that would be the only thing. I just do any of them that I thought were funny. Like,
like the Simpsons slots and shit.
Yeah. It would just be that sort of like, Real Housewives of Atlanta slot machine.
Cool. How'd
like
you
that.
do?
Well, I was down $160.
Okay.
Which is money I was like, I came in being
what was your amount that you were like
100?
100, like so you're down an extra 60.
So because the issue, like I feel like a good middle ground between slots and actually being at a real table with people is the electric like virtual blackjack tables or the craps tables, because it's like
it's the little screens on the table.
Yeah, and it's like it's just you see it. It's like playing literally like on an iPad or on your phone. Which is why it's dangerous, because I get the same anxiety too. Like I've only gambled like a handful of times, but I'm always like, these people know what the fuck they're doing. Where like me, I'm like some idiot kid over here trying to, do a $2 buy-in, which none of them are. Everything's like $5 now.
Yeah, they're like, no, it's not enough, and you're like, what do you mean it's not? Like more.
Oh, but I like doing that, and I was up like, I put in 20, and I was up like 75. I should have pulled out and been like, I'm done for the night. But my good friend, he put in like 300 and he was up like 600. He was just putting 100 on black in the virtual roulette, would get it, do it again, get it again. And he was just up. And then it's like at the end of the night, he still made money. He only made like $25. So it's like he could have walked out the door with like.
Oh, the second I had like a little extra, I would be
again.
done.
You could walk out of there with a belly full of free crab. Not free, you pay for it, but as much as you can eat.
God.
And money in your pocket.
Just have a kid. There's no difference. Jesus Christ.
And that's like free crap.
Put your
in, like,
wallet in your
Colorado,
front pocket
dude.
when you go to the city. It's just shut up.
Oh, fuck, man. Yeah, no, it's all good. I know it. I own it. It's part of me. It's just the truth.
I just like, there's nothing, you know what I mean? Like nothing I like is sort of there. You know?
No,
I don't like a buffet. I don't like crab legs. I don't like any of that type of shit. I don't like
I like
strip
people
clubs.
watching, though.
I don't like doing the only thing that's cool is indoor smoking. That's literally the only appeal, and I can't do that because I'm too nuts.
They smoke there?
They have little, well, it's like an outside section that they'll have slots and games.
Oh, wow, yeah.
But it's like you'll go outside, or I mean, we were at Ameristar Lodge Casino, the first choice for fun, and the Gilpin, and like one other, but I think there's a couple like more dingier casinos that you can just like, it's like a cruise ship where it's like, oh, it's on that side and it just reeks everywhere. It's like everywhere smells like cigs, but
no, I've been in a couple of those.
As much as I love smoking, like indoor smoking is sort of, it's not tight. Like when you're actually doing it, it sort of sucks.
As a person who can't smoke a cigarette, you should give me a whole cigarette, I got to sit down. You know what I mean? I'll pass out. Too dizzy, crazy. But you sit in a room people have been smoking, it gets on top of you pretty quick, man. You know what I mean?
I think that's worse. I think it's worse than actually smoking the cigarette.
I think
it's a different thing.
It gets on top of you pretty quick. Yeah.
So like sometimes when you'd be at a place like, this bar you can still smoke it, and then you'd be like about 15 minutes in, you're like, it was cool when we blasted that first cig, and now I like really I just want to stop smoking, and I can't because it's just like I'm constantly doing it. So it was not as fun as it wasn't cool, and I think the way they used to burn or something I think must have been a little different, because like what happens now is it's like it's not just a haze, it's like that's all you can see. It's like a cloud. And then then people are in there vaping on top of it, so now you got weird, ultra weird smells happening. That's too much.
Never mind, I don't want to go.
Was I?
Never mind.
So I'll watch take Abby.
No, I was gonna say we're bringing
she'd be
Abby.
fun.
We're bringing Abby. She's gonna crush it.
I'm just not gonna be fun at that situation. It's just not my type of activities.
Yeah.
My type of activities are like not things. They're like alone things.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They're
I
not
understand.
like none of my activities are going to be enhanced by people being there with me.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I get you.
I
I
can
so,
see that.
I mean, I like it's all good. It's just if I'm picking the things that I want to do, they're just not going to fall into that category.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll head down there nonetheless. We'll bring old Abbers and we'll set her free. You know what I mean? Because
I'll give her.
She'll
a chunk
figure
of
it
change.
out.
She can
Dude.
figure
I'd be
it out.
very surprised if we come home without Abby with an extra wad of cash in her pocket. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, that wraps up the Arizona thought. Did you do anything fun this weekend with Gigi outside of work?
No, I mean we just had like a lot of errands to run and stuff to do because it's like it's just me, so I have to make sure that like she has like the food for the week, and we have to go do this, and I still have to go do all the things I normally do, like do my art supplies and get my coffee and just boring shit. You know what I mean? So it's just like normal stuff.
Yeah.
But that's now we're talking like what I like to do. That's it.
Yeah.
I just like to do my routine. So again, if people were there with me, it's irrelevant. I'm sort of doing my art. Yeah.
No,
and we go to the pet store to check on the cats, see how the cats are doing, see if they're getting adopted.
Yeah.
Good news, they mostly did this weekend, so that's solid.
Beautiful. Real quick, let's pause on the pet store thing because it brought back a deep memory. As a kid, were you a regular at any pet stores? And then
no, because I feel like you just got food, like at least I don't know. I think she just got it from the vet. I think we got food from the vet, and then that was I think. No, we didn't go to pet stores though. We never went to a pet store.
The reason I ask is because it's kind of a shame in the scheme of like, the American mall is dead. The American mall is very much so dead. But growing up, I spent so much time in the Ashtabula Mall.
There was a pet store in the Ashtabula Mall?
Yeah, so I would be there every Sunday and then, multiple times during the week.
Tell me what the top 5 stores in the Ashtabula Mall were.
All time, because there's nothing in there now. So
all time.
So all time would go 1, Babbage's that became GameStop.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Babbage's was better.
I've spent days of my life playing Halo 1 on the Xbox demo thing.
Listen, we need to get, you know what? I want to see GameStop go. It's time. They had its thing. It needs to go. Babbage's returns.
Oh, Babbage's bring back. I was going to say, buddy,
let's get their stock to the moon. Let's get Babbage's stock to the moon.
So it goes Babbage's / GameStop. Sam Goody. Now, that would have been when I was young.
It was only Sam Goody? It didn't ever change to like FYI or whatever?
It closed. FYI was down
FYI was
Mall.
Worse.
There was never one locally. I've been in them, but it was never one locally. But Sam Goody was tight, and now I'm talking like so early, like I hardly remember it. I know the slot that it was in the mall. I could point to the store, but I hardly remember it. Second off would have to be either my buddy Eric's family's Chinese restaurant or the pizza restaurant, both of which were Ashtabula staples that eventually left the mall, opened their own little places separately. But that era is what I'm talking about. Moving on. I mean, there was a lot of really good stuff at different periods of time. The Finish Line was tight. And there was a Champs that was also tight. I bought LeBron's high school jersey there.
Finish Line's cooler than Champs.
No doubt. But the Champs had some cool guys working. I was young, and they would all wear basketball jerseys, and I thought that was tight. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. So I bought the LeBron jersey.
Which color, home or away?
Green. So whatever it was, I think home would have been the light gold. Fighting Irish, you know what I'm saying? His high school jersey.
Oh, I understand. I was just thinking, like, what are you talking about, dude? It's just like maroon and white, I thought.
Yeah. No, because right around the time LeBron was drafted to Cleveland was around the time they switched to wine and gold.
I feel like I had a white. I think I had a white LeBron jersey.
Oh, for real?
Point. I think so.
Yeah, I mean it was sick. I mean I had the shoes. I had the black and red.
I definitely had the shoes.
But that's about it. Oh, Stephen Barry's. Do you remember this? Remember Stephen Barry's?
Stephen Barry's. The hell, Stephen Barry's?
Is it Steve and Barry's? Hold on. Steve and Barry's. Okay, so yes, Timothy. Steve and Barry's was a retail company. It was every single thing in inside that building was $7.95. If I remember correctly, every single thing. Now this was a massive
There's
store.
a sign here with everything $8.98 or
okay,
less.
$8.98. And it was
inflation even got to Stephen
like
Barry's.
I'm with stupid T-shirts.
Yeah.
And chilling with my peeps, and it'd be like a little thing of ducklings. You know what I'm saying?
This place sucks.
So,
but I understand at a time.
So
what would have been going on?
Stephon Marbury. Do you remember him? NBA player. Stephon
Yes,
Marbury released his shoe, if I remember correctly, through Stephen Barry's. And he did a whole press circuit where he would come into Stephen Barry's across the Midwest and sign people's shit. He signed me and my buddies' T-shirts and this, that, and the other. He
was
released
at the Stephen Barry's?
Yes, he released the Starbury was the shoe. So if you type in, Starbury shoe, this was everywhere. Because unless I'm mistaken, these were also $8.98 or $7.95 or whatever it was. Did you look these up? The Starbury?
No, I'm looking at the T-shirts they sold. Like I'm not as think as you drunk I am. And
exactly.
Stuff. I'm not a team player. These kind of like plays on a lot of brand names and stuff like that.
I had a leather blue and white Duke Blue Devils varsity jacket that I wore for years. Like that was my shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, Stephon Marbury came through Ashtabula, signed some shit. We got, I never had these shoes because everybody had them, and I wanted to be different. But you look at that thin ass sole. You know what I mean?
I'm looking them up now. We got to get back
Starbury shoe.
Oh my God, Chase, these are awful.
Yeah, bro. But that he released.
I mean, I hear where you're coming from. This is truly. Was this its own brand? This wasn't even like a.
I think it was.
Brand?
Starbury's was, from what I remember, whether Stephen Barry's owned the licensing to it. It was you could buy it there though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but so Stephen Barry's was.
These
actually,
are Gia. These are
I am your kid.
These are nasty.
Yeah.
These are like a disgusting little shoe.
But also, in the location that Stephen Barry's was located, before that was like a FarmX store, Pharma like PHARM, FarmX, FarmX store, something like that.
Yeah.
And you'd go in there, self-serve little things of popcorn, so you could have popcorn while you shopped around.
This is
and
Cole,
it had a
agree
video
with
store.
me, Cole. This is a crazy mall. What he's describing.
Oh yeah, dude.
This is a weird selection of stuff.
You guys got to understand the Ashtabula Mall. Ashtabula was tight in its heyday. It was like a luxurious spot to live. It was not by the time I was born there. But the Ashtabula Mall at one point was tight, man. And has a movie theater in it. Has a Kmart, super Kmart attached to it that is no longer. Countless other dope things. A place you could go play Yu-Gi-Oh cards. But anyway, I want to talk about the pet store in the Ashtabula Mall. That's why I
There's
asked.
a Marbury shoe that was like released later that has a has a speaker in it.
Tight.
Just imagining your like shitty ass Bluetooth connection to that, like for it's skipping and stuff.
And as you're walking, it's going this, so you hear it
so you can't really hear
soft,
it, and you're just
soft,
playing like I'm trying to think of I can't even like Nelly.
Fat Joe song.
Yeah.
The
one with J-Lo, where you're led to believe that J-Lo and Fat Joe dated, and you're like, no, you guys didn't. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? Nobody believes this.
Wait, Cole's got a video up of the sad forgotten Ashtabula. That's my buddy's Chinese restaurant. That was Eric's Chinese restaurant. That's a dope ass arcade. We would crawl around on our hands and knees to get under there and get coins.
Oh my God, it's a video?
Yeah, bro.
What year was this taken?
This is in the food court.
This was like recent.
Yeah.
It's still kind of.
It's still there, just nobody. It's just you don't actually go.
Oh
in there.
yeah, like the.
That was
signs
called
are-
Aladdin's Castle, but it's not anymore. I played Time Crisis 2 in there. I want to talk about the pet
Like
store.
money laundering situation. And again, cool. Just so that I don't feel crazy, because normally I'm alone in here. A pet store in a mall is weird. That's an unusual thing.
There was one in the Erie Mall,
I've
too.
never heard of that.
Okay, so I'm a little weirded out, but my Park Meadows Mall by me, when I grew up, it had a little puppy mill. And it was like up right next to Auntie Annie's, and there would just be a bunch of dogs like in front of the window.
The glass displays.
Yeah, it was really freaking sad, and they were all on like a mulch. It was really weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had the same experience of we'd go there. There'd be cats, puppies in these outside windows. You go there, and I would play with them all the time. Never got one. You know what I mean? We had a dog when I was in 7th grade, and we got a cat that was from my 5th grade teacher. And then my dad got a cat for us for one weekend, and then it moved to another place. I don't know, my aunt's house or something. You know what I mean? Called it Scooter. But we would go in there a lot, and there was little baby turtles, and I would watch them feed the snake mice, and I'd play with the kittens, play with the puppies. That's about it. But anyway, you saying the pet store reminded me.
Yeah, I mean, we go to just check to see if there's cats and if the cats get adopted.
Yeah, there's nothing in there. It's completely empty.
Big Dog Bounce?
I don't know about Big Dog Bounce.
What's Big Dog Bounce?
No, see, this is long after. I haven't been in that mall in 10, 11
Big Dog
years.
Bounce sounds like something you'd love, though.
Yeah, it sounds like
That's
something I'd open.
Yeah, something you'd open.
It's just a place you go jump big.
It's just you rented a space in the mall and you just put one like from Craigslist trampoline in the middle of it.
It's got somebody's dirt still on it.
Spray painted big dogs on the top of it. Paint's getting on the kids' hands and shit.
I don't rent it out to anybody else.
It's just not you. It's to come watch you do bounces. That is your ideal business.
No, watch this. I want to show you something.
Yeah, every time they try to leave, you're like, hey. It's like when you get one of those awful outdoor performers that yells at you for some reason. It's just that.
Oh fuck, man, that's too that's too funny. Okay. Well, anyway, the Ashtabula Mall had a pet store in it. It also had.
Anyway, getting back on topic.
Yeah, I would get my hair cut there. That's about it. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I mean, like all the things that were great in ours were like exactly what you think they are. You know what I mean? It's just like Abercrombie.
Oh, lucky you. You have American Eagle?
I think at one point, or maybe that went to the outdoor mall later on. That was on the other part of town. I can't remember. And you got like a Gap, and then you'd have like Orange Julius.
See, you're talking. These are in the nice mall. This is not in the Ashtabula Mall.
Well, there was also another mall in town that was just where gangs hung out. It was basically gang controlled, except for there was a paintball store in it. I don't even know if there were other stores. There was a paintball store in it, and then gangs hung out in it. And it was kind of scary to go to.
Yeah.
So we had that one too.
Yeah, fair enough.
Or you could go to this one.
Yeah.
And it was okay. I mean,
this
it was like
this is Fort Wayne or Indianapolis? Indianapolis.
You know, like the thing is too. It's like, look, these weren't like the best. This is like a small Abercrombie, because then you'd go to like a bigger mall, like in Indianapolis, and you'd be like, oh, these are way bigger than what I realized. I thought it was just like two rooms, you know, like a girl's room and a guy's room, and that was sort of.
I know what you're saying.
We had, we had like, you know, with Spencer's.
Oh, same. We had a Spencer's.
Spencer's, Hot Topic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what else was in there. You know, it changed. But there was like one area where I think I've mentioned this before. There's one area where it was just like old, because that was like an aesthetic of that time. And it was called the Orchard or something. And it was like
old.
It was like a cobblestone part of the mall with like a fake tree in the middle.
I pictured that. Yeah.
And then you could there was like a coffee shop that was like, you know, pre what coffee shops are now.
Yeah.
So this is a real novelty.
Yeah.
I've never seen someone buy coffee from it, because I think they thought it was weird.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you go to McDonald's or to a diner to get that kind of, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was like, you know, candle store in there. You know what I mean? So one time we got an H&M eventually. That was a big deal.
Damn, good for you, bro.
My friend worked there. My now brother-in-law worked there.
Oh, hell yeah.
So it was like a place to go where like the scene kids could. It was created so scene kids could have jobs.
Should we have him on the pod?
It would maybe be funny.
I think it'd be funny.
I mean, we had a podcast for a long time.
Yeah.
It's not around
the Brendan
anymore.
Fraser one?
The Brendan Fraser one. Yeah. It got kind of popular. Not popular, but like it was doing some numbers. Like more, we weren't even looking. And then someone was like, "Oh, we listened to it, and we listened to it, and blah blah blah." And it was like, "Well, there's a lot of people." So we looked and we're like, "Oh shit, there's like a lot of people listening to this."
Yeah, that's tight.
So we did that. We've like started countless other ones, but haven't. So he knows how to yap.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, let's have him on. He lives in Japan. We've talked about this. It's not sharing. Like, he lives in Japan.
Maybe you can talk about what it's like moving there or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We could just bullshit, do some bits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
he and I, it would be like it's going to be like you getting double teamed though, because he and I are very similar.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Vibe wise.
Yeah.
And like so it's like a lot of like us bothering each other, and then, you know, so, you know, it'd be good.
Yeah. No, I get it. Well, we got that yakitori in Tokyo.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that for that day. It was rainy and yeah, that would be
We
fun.
just talked about like kids in the scene who sucked.
Yeah, we just talked about
just
gossip from 15 years ago.
Yeah. That's really like, if you're talking about like my ideal conversational points, it's gossip from like 25 years ago.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Actually, that brings up a good point. You said Abercrombie. It reminded me. I was like, damn, Hollister was big. I want to tell you a story about something that happened to my buddy in a Hollister. I don't know why this is a long-term memory, but it stuck with me.
Mm-hmm.
My buddy was shopping with his girlfriend in the Hollister. He goes to check out the guy's side. She goes out to check out the girl's side. And eventually he comes back and he sees what he thinks is her at the checkout counter.
Mm-hmm.
And her pants were sagging a little bit. So my buddy went up to this girl who he thought was his girlfriend, grabbed her by the belt loop of the back of her pants, said, "Babe, your pants are sagging a little bit. Pick these shits up." And yanks up on this girl's belt loop. And she turns around and it wasn't his girlfriend. And he goes, "Oh, fuck, I am so sorry. I thought you were my girlfriend." And like, that's it. That's the whole story. But that has stuck with me forever because it's just like.
Just imagine getting like your pants yanked up on you. Like
by a strange guy.
Yeah, by a stranger.
Yeah.
It's a wild feeling to begin with.
Yeah.
Like, I just know, like, the gossip, we had to have talked about this before, but the gossip that came out of, like, what managers were doing that like, from friends that I knew that worked at, like, Hollister and Abercrombie and stuff was buck wild.
Yeah.
Like, you know what my dream job is? Working at, like, Hollister with, like, a guy that's a manager that's way older than everyone else.
Yeah, for sure.
And it just being, like, it's just, like, kids being bad.
Yeah.
Fucking so much stuff was stealing, so many drugs, so many people hooking up. I mean, it was like cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like a cool thing to do back then.
Yeah, it's like that movie Clerks or something. You know what
I mean, listen,
like,
I'm probably speaking from a place of privilege here as a guy. I'm sure it was not cool for girls. So let's walk that back a little bit. But at the same time, like, it was like the things that people would tell me at school, I was like, damn, this shit's nuts. It's like a soap opera. So that part's kind of cool.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. It was fun. I never worked. No, I worked at a Levi's, but like I'd hear drama from my friends that worked at the various McDonald's. You know, because you knew a gang of these people worked at the McDonald's that had a large cat population in the secondary parking lot that we would go hang out at. Then there was the Harbor McDonald's, which had its whole different set of drama. You know what I mean? Yeah. Real quick, I have another thing on my list. Two things I wanted to share before we move on to whatever else we're going to talk about, which is kind of been all over the place. But so this morning I'm driving in and I'm over by the Whole Foods by your house. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I hear I feel like a, you know what I'm saying? Like a boom,
quit making the noise as if that's gonna get. What do you mean? Are you like?
I'm saying
you're in your car.
I'm in my car driving.
Yeah, and this is a sound that the car made?
No.
Outside.
An outside sound, but I more so felt it, like a shockwave. You know what I'm saying?
Chase, what are you talking? You got shot with a t-shirt cannon? that hit for you?
Chase, you trying to tell me you just got hit with a t-shirt cannon?
You're too embarrassed to say it?
No. So
this is the worst podcast.
My first thought was like, I swear to God, my first thought was, did a bomb just go off? I swear to God. I look in my rearview mirror, look around, and I'm thinking, I was just about to take a right. So I was thinking, do I have like a basketball in my back seat that came up and bumped me in the back? You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my first thought, dude, because I might have some spare shit in my back
When
seat.
you hit a stop, a bunch of balls come out.
Well, the thing is, I know there wasn't something back there, but you never know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have, like, while I might have a bunch of shit in my car at any given time, I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what the fuck? And I look ahead, bro, and there was a semi hauling like a, it wasn't like an 18-wheeler hauling like more so like what you'd put a bunch of cement in, you know what I mean? It fucking blew up, dude. Like, I felt it from 2 blocks, 3 blocks away. Shit blew up, felt it, and I was like, what the fuck? So I made a lap around the thing to go by it. Fucking truck was on fire right outside that pub that we do trivia at. Yeah. Truck blew up.
Like, it blew up?
I felt it blow up.
What was it doing?
I don't know, dude. It was just at the light. I don't know.
Someone was in it?
Yeah, a guy was driving it.
Did you get out?
Because I took the right, then made a left and come back onto that main street, just, you know, because I wanted to look at it. There was already a cop car pulled up behind it, blocking it off with lights off, and the fella was underneath the carriage with a fucking fire extinguisher, and people were coming out of businesses to go help with fire extinguishers and shit. It was weird. But point being, I felt the truck blew up. It was pretty crazy. Felt the truck blow up. So
pretty weird.
So that happened, and other than that,
I guess cars just blow up sometimes.
It was like you couldn't see the truck. There was so much smoke for a second. It really
This is right by my place.
Right by your place, right across from the pub.
Oh,
you know, it does
don't
fish
dox
and chips
me.
and shit.
We've already doxed me. Yeah, you can find me at this point.
Yeah. I was thinking, I was like, should I stop saying like Ashtabula and shit? You know, but like,
for what reason do you think someone's gonna take a trip there?
Well, that's the thing is like I've talked about Ashtabula for years. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
What are you worried that all of our rabid fans are gonna go to Ashtabula Mall?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Figure out a place where you.
I don't want to say where I live
dogs
explicitly. Yeah. I go pet dogs in the mall.
Yeah.
Other than that, the only other thing I had on my list, and then there was one other thing we could talk about. What Cole and I went with our better halves to get Korean barbecue this weekend. It was really
nice.
good. It was really good.
Where at?
Way out in Aurora.
Oh, it's that one. Yeah,
it's the spot that's approved. It's gas. So we had a bunch of Korean barbecue. It was absolutely stellar. Cole, what'd you think?
Sorry, the cable got wrapped around my leg. It was incredible.
Yeah,
it came with so many accoutrements.
Yeah,
like
you would liked all the little side dishes, Timbo.
Yeah, like the whole thing around the little grill was just like little cups of little little fish cakes, like some bean salad, kimchi. Yeah. The kimchi soup was
we got the kimchi
insane.
It was absolutely stellar.
Yeah.
So
what's the level of stink like?
It wasn't that bad.
Was good?
No, they
you know what I'm talking about. Where you're like, this is gonna be my hair for a while.
Yeah, no, because they got all tables have like a gas, I don't know. Yeah, it's gas, like a gas range, a circular thing.
Yeah.
But then there's a hood vent right on top of it, so it's taking the smoke right up. Like,
sometimes they don't have those, and it's like wild.
I have been in for Kenyatta one year. We went there for his birthday. We got a private room, probably about the size of this room, and I will say, it did. It was fill up.
Yeah,
you
start,
what I mean?
Yeah.
It gets pretty hot in there, kind of like it does.
Yeah, casino energy. You can't breathe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a fun thing. I haven't done it in a long time actually now.
Yeah.
But I used to do it a lot more in Chicago.
Yeah.
But
really good bang for your buck, all things considered. You got to have a lot of different flavors, eat a lot of food. So that was fun. But that's about it in terms of wrapping up what we did this weekend. So
my favorite thing though about the eating with you is you were like, we got like 4 meats. And Chase was like, no, we got to get the 5 meats. So glad we didn't get that because it was already so much food anyway.
By the time you put that 4th meat on there, because they come cook it, the fella cooks it, he'll put it on there, he times it out. What did we do first, Cole? Pork belly?
Yeah, it was pork, like thick pork belly.
Pork belly, bulgogi,
ribeye. And then, what the fuck was the...
What was it?
Short ribs. Long strips
LA
of short ribs,
Galbi. Yeah, short ribs. So it was really good. But by the time you eat that last thing, the bulgogi was the last thing we had. It's like I couldn't eat more meat. You know what I mean? So luckily we didn't.
Any sort of like meat centric situation. I'm not a big meat guy to begin with, but I was. But I've had like barbecue and stuff before, and it is a little like this is just it's too much of the same.
You ever had the meat sweats, Brando?
No, I wouldn't. I've never eaten enough meat for that to happen. But
that's
it's too gross. But the fact that that even is a thing that can happen to the human body.
I thought it was fake, but I've experienced it.
Yuck. Does it stink? It stinks, doesn't it? You shook your head. It stinks. It stinks like meat sweat.
I just remember being like, oh, so this is what it feels like when your body is
it doesn't like it.
In shock from the amount of meat you just took in.
Yeah.
So
ugh.
But
I don't like that.
Other than that, I mean, the only other thing we could talk about is our what we were talking about going into the pod, which is we want to import some foreign vehicles.
You always give away all of our business ideas, though, and then
somebody can outwork us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in this case, they really could. And in the fashion space, I feel pretty confident. But
yeah,
I don't know about
that's true.
The importing of vehicle space.
Yeah. Well, maybe we don't. Maybe we don't talk about it. Don't take our idea.
TM on no one's ever thought to do this before.
TM, that's legally binding.
We have like an idea again for a little business. I don't know if we'll do it or not, but we'll see. Chase is pretty hyped up on it, but we've gotten ourselves hyped up before.
I'm excited to be done with work today so I can go home and watch videos and obsess about it and form a game plan. I'm dead serious about this. Whether we all do it together or I do it on my own, I'm getting one of those little fuckers. Yeah. Painting it.
No one's stopping you, just to be clear.
No,
You're
I know.
talking as if
I'm saying
going to try to get in your way.
This morning, I've turned a corner, and the obsession is, it's full in. I feel it in my chest now. I will not stop until I have one of those things. So I'm gonna try to really dial that in. But
cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to
what do you got on your list over there?
But now we're into the what do you want to do? Do you want to do talk about what's been going on with the store thing, or do you want me to go into, or do you want to do that at the end?
No, let's knock that out because
now?
It's kind of fresh in mind.
Okay.
Yeah. So, with Abby being out of town, our workflow was a little muffed up, so to speak. But everything is being published.
Muffed up.
I was thinking, the first time I saw somebody say muffed up was Wee Man in one of the Jackasses. He says, this is muffed up. And I just remember it's sticking with me as something I didn't necessarily love, so I don't know why I said it.
It stuck with you because you didn't like it, and then it just...
Yeah, and then I fucking just did a Wee Man bit, so son of a bitch. But...
I'm sure a lot of people got that deep cut of that being a Wee Man bit.
Dude. So, but... Anyway, we've been publishing product has been we're working through the kinks. We're trying to get some systems in place, but Abina was gone. So we have Visvim is now online. We have Howlin that just arrived that should be online shortly. I know Willie's shooting that. We've got what did I just plug? Oh, the La Mer is online. What else do we have here? Oh, Nanamika is online. I think I've already said that, but the rest of Nanamika landed and is online. In particular, I'm wearing the crew neck now. I love this thing. It's 2 days in a row for me. Absolutely loving it. Some of our legacy has hit the shop. What else?
It's got to be shoes in there, right? Somewhere
from our legacy.
No, I just mean like shoes in general. I feel like.
Oh yeah. On top of that, there's some more Crocs, some more Hokas. There's a release that's happening Friday of next week, but we'll tease it earlier in the week next week. But it's a collaboration boot that we were offered and we picked up. Chris, if you're in the Discord, Chris has teased it. You might already know what it is, but that's for you to find out. That comes out, so we do have some footwear releases. I'm just scrolling through new releases. That's about it. In terms of that is live right now. Things that is yet to go live. Couple engineered garments pieces, I believe. Frismworks is on the way. Or slow. Should be on the way. I'm working out some kinks with our shipping situation. However, though, Timothy, we have a new brand. First shipment came. It's in stock. It'll go online this week. Guest in residence. Nice little...
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah.
Talk about that.
It's Gigi Hadid's line. I think that's like how it kind of got like its initial start. It was mostly in women's. I really like it because it's simple. You know what I mean? It's the idea is not complicated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like it's affordable knitwear. Affordable is relative, obviously, because it's cashmere. But it's all cashmere. That's kind of their kick. Everything in there is cashmere. It feels like very approachable cashmere, if that makes sense. Because I think that you can get into that lane where it's like, oh, it's extremely fine, extremely delicate, very expensive. And like I will say that I think like cashmere is always worth the investment because it is kind of a massive difference between a regular knit and that feel wise and quality wise. I really like this stuff because it's not only like I think in most cases when you get sort of more like core stuff, it's like from like if you go to a cashmere collection and it's like we do cashmere and it's like and here's a navy and here's a black and here's a brown and that's all they got. You know what I mean? And this line has that, but the stuff that we got first is more their like seasonal collection. Yeah. And there's great like cashmere polo, like rugby shirts, and we've got like cashmere flannels on the way, some like flannel shirts, but it's all cashmere. And there's some great like roll necks and like really like simple like but like fun takes on things. This is like more their seasonal colors too. It's just kind of like I don't know. I like it for its simplicity. I really like the way they shoot things and the way they approach the this sort of idea. I like that it's very straightforward and uncomplicated, and it's like cute and fun, and anybody can sort of get into it. I think that like also it's super unisex. They have a women's collection as well that we don't carry, but like they really sell. From what I understand from the people I've talked to at the company, they sell the men's almost more popular just because it's like a little bit oversized that way.
Oh,
all the fits are nice and like boxier and more roomy and more modern as opposed to like like more that slim look, which is nice at times too. But I think this is a little bit more wearable than the stuff you'd find at more of like a proper like, haberdashery or some shit. You know what I mean? Like some sort of more like classic men's boutique or something like that. So it's kind of like you get to touch on that sort of like item without having to be like, it's not boring. It's fun and, easy and cool. Yeah. So I really like it. I spotted
Have
a
you
couple
tried
of
any
things right
pieces
away.
on yet?
I have not. I mean, I saw it get out. I thought it'd come out of the boxes the other day, but I was too in and out the past.
I totally forgot.
Yeah.
I want to try some stuff on and see what we think.
It's really pretty, and I think that, like, again, I think the quality is really high and the price is great considering the quality. I think that's really the key. Like, if you've been like wanting to dabble in a cashmere, or you just want to have one in your collection, especially for like spring, summer, I think it's awesome. Like, I don't think there's much cooler than like light sweater with shorts.
Yeah, I
think
agree.
It's like
It's
a
cool.
very cool look.
Yeah.
So it's kind of perfect timing too for this kind of stuff, especially that lighter weight cashmere. So it's really cool. I love it. I think it's a cool.
Pop on over. I don't think it's live yet. Let me just check.
I wouldn't imagine it. It came in very recently, but
No, it's not.
we'll have it up there
But
by
that'll
the
be
end
up
of the
live.
week. Yeah.
That'll be here shortly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
You
about.
said
That's about it.
Orslo. I think.
Yeah, Orslow's incoming.
Yep. I feel like there's more, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. So yeah, so cool stuff.
A lot
all
of
around.
stuff.
Yeah,
It's
I mean, we're
happening.
really like doing new. By the time you'll be hearing this, tomorrow will be first round of 70% off. So we got seasonal sale, kind of the end of that happening. So sizing will be a little wonky, but like. Also, if you're listening to this on a Thursday and you aren't in our Patreon, that is a good time to join because you always get early access that way.
Yep.
So, I mean, there's cool stuff there still. It's just a matter of sizing, but pop over there and see if you get any like Cinderella stories. But
yeah, let's hope.
yeah. Anything else? That's kind of what's going on. Like we already kind of teased that we're gonna have like a collaboration
Big
relatively
situation
soon.
going. I think we're gonna have an event as well.
Yeah, we just haven't mapped out all the times and everything. We're
Yeah.
still like working out like some details, obviously. But this one will be a little bit just if you're in this deep, just keep your eyes out. Like and you'll start seeing stuff about all this soon.
Yeah.
But it's really exciting. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? That we did all the housekeeping?
That's housekeeping around here. Yep.
Okay.
Well, one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Cole and I are happy to report. I think we're gonna get soup for lunch. So I'm really
great.
looking forward to that.
Great. So you guys have already it's 11:48 now. You've probably been discussing for upwards of 2-3 hours, I would assume.
I talked to him on the phone on my way in. So
Is that real?
yes.
What's wrong with you guys?
Well, here's the thing. Realistically,
you
what
guys
I was
it's
thinking.
like dogs. It's like the only thing on your mind is food.
Well, it's a major thing on my mind. Absolutely. Here's the thing. I was thinking, all right, I'm going to save some money. I brought myself a little ramen packet. And I texted Cole and I said, could you please bring me an egg? I was thinking maybe he had a hard-boiled egg or a regular egg.
Well, you got him running grocery errands.
Well, I'm
for
saying
you.
if he had one in his fridge, I'd already left. Otherwise, I would have brought my own eggs. I'm happy to reimburse him an egg. That's no problem.
It's no problem for me.
Listen, you got to understand one thing about me, buddy, is I'll get him an egg. It's not a big deal.
You've gotten too close to Cole already that you're asking him to bring you a single egg.
I want to say I said I'll buy the egg from him too. I was just thinking, here's the thing.
How much do you pay for a single egg?
I'd pay him $3 for an egg.
Damn.
That's what I'm
I'll
saying.
bring you an egg. You're
I'm
going
happy-
$3 per.
I'm happy to make it worth his time. Even more if it were already boiled.
Make it worth his time. We are talking about. It's just you're comfortable in the place you're at. That you're not gonna. You can't exceed $5 on this. That's psychotic.
I pay him $5 for an egg. We're in a shortage.
One egg inside of the ramen is worth $5 to you.
Hey, if he felt that he was inconvenienced by it, then I'll make it worth.
You
his time.
you popped the Ideal Market from here. It's 5 minutes, and you get like a whole thing of the cage-free,
Vital Farms, baby.
Look, you're not getting up to Vital Farms. That's $10. Easy.
That's what we get though. When
that's
I buy
fine.
regular eggs,
What I'm
that's
saying
what
is,
getting.
if you're buying one egg from him or a thing for $5,
All I'm saying is,
this is also stupid. I can't keep going on this. We're done.
So
You've
I was
roped me in
I was
somehow,
gonna make
and
a ramen with an egg. Yeah. We got to talking, and I said, "Do you have lunch, Cole?" And he goes, "No, I don't have lunch. It's not it." So I think we're gonna get soup. So I just wanted to report that.
Great. What kind of soup are you gonna get?
The Taiwanese beef noodle soup from Zomama.
Great. So that's the soup that you guys have been discussing for about 2 weeks straight.
Yeah, we had it many times since. Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
So,
You guys gotta do other stuff. There's gotta be other stuff.
Well, the thing is, just wait until we get Abby involved in the conversation. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What do you got? What do you got?
Let's see. I had 2 things for you. You got anything? Well, let me ask you this. Let's see if this leads us in at all. Do you got anything that you really want around? You know, has anything come in lately, or is on the way that you're like really like, I gotta buy it?
Yes. One thing, Orslo. I know this most recent shipment. Again, the way that they send confirmations is like SKUs, and so I just look through the SKUs, and it's cumbersome to dig through them. But I think what we have coming are the summer weight fatigues and things like that, vintage fit fatigue. So another pair of fatigues I'd like to snatch. But I don't own any of the summer weight fatigues, but they have them coming in. I believe it's in this shipment. Summer weight fatigue. It's like HBT, but they're called grape. So it's like this color, like a washed blue that's turned purple over time. I think I want a pair of those. Everybody loves their summer weights, especially come summer.
Just write this down, Cole. Again, just another Chase-ism of I don't only wear black. I only do this.
I don't say I only wear black.
I'm thinking about getting grape pants.
Well,
you wear more color than like Pee Wee Herman.
I
guess he
don't
only wears a
pass
gray
it. I
suit,
only wear black. I don't pass it. I only wear black. I have black things, but I don't wear only black.
You wear a lot of color.
I do.
You might wear the most color in the building. Charabo's got a lot of different things going.
Charabo.
He's got a lot of stuff.
He'll put some shit on. Yeah. But Abby mostly wears black. You wear black, brown,
a German Shepherd color,
gray, tan. Yes.
Yeah.
I do wear a lot of color. Because it's usually like it's like a blue jacket and then regular pants.
Listen, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's fine. I think that's great. It's just your determination that you like don't do it.
I think I've dropped that. Because there was a period where like I'll never have a day where I'm not wearing mostly black, and that's just not true. You know what I mean? It's just not true. But those pants, they're called grape rope. They're not purple. They're like it's like blue washed to fuck. You know what I'm saying? So,
I know what you're saying. I mean, it's like like French blue at a certain point. A lot of that
exactly.
Gets kind of purpley.
Even so I would like a pair of those. And then you know what? I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
How do you wear those? Just because if anything, people will also want to know. You know what I mean? Like, because like that doesn't feel like you can really wear blue with it, right? So what are you gonna do? What is your play with it?
I mean, I suppose that's a good point. It's probably gonna be too close to a blue that it'd be off. You know what I mean? Like a navy. You could do navy. I would do navy with a white shirt.
I'd have to see him in person. I'm not picturing them.
I think I've got like 4 dark blue jackets.
Yeah, I think you can also. I think that color looks nice with olive, so you could just flop them and do the olive on top.
Yeah,
and then,
totally.
But
yeah. But other than that, I'm keen for some Harrell. I'm looking at the buy now.
I don't even remember what it is.
I can't. Look. It's not easy to view what we have coming, but there's some dope shit. Maybe some Harrell. What about you? Is there anything that you're keen for?
Well, it's a leading question because I have a point. But I definitely want James Coward, and I want there's a Lemaire jacket I want, and there's an Orly jacket I want.
Are the Lemaire and Orly jackets already here?
No.
Because I was thinking about that denim boxy jacket. Like, I need another denim jacket, but like, dude, that thing's sick. The boxy jacket is having a moment, I feel, right now. Like, our community in particular is really kind of globbed onto that piece.
They're really revved up on it. Yeah. It's a great jacket. I wear it all the time.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not a boxy jacket. I forget what it's called. It's maybe a boxy blue sun though. No, maybe that's for next season. I don't remember what it's called. I remember last time we talked about it, and I said whatever size is mine is officially sold out.
It's gone.
The Orly jacket is like a kind of a plain jacket. It was in the collection. It was but I really liked it. It was kind of like just a regular like zip jacket. And I don't know. I really liked it in the collection, so I want it. But there is like, this is what I'm kind of getting at is like what is here that I really want that I keep spinning out on, but I'm like trying to not do it because it doesn't fit into my made up rules. Is I love that red Orly jacket. I think it's like a perfect
that makes
jacket.
Sense. We did talk about this.
I love the material. I love the color. I love how like saturated and like, it's a very nice red.
It is dope.
I'm not saying I'm not gonna do it yet. I haven't tried it on specifically because I know then I'll spin out on it.
Yeah.
And but it's like I was kind of getting at like what do you do with that? Like do I just break edge and do it, or do I just go like, no, I got that, that's my rule, I got to stick to it? And the secondary question I think in my head was, Like, are there things that you really want, or styles that you really want to wear, but are just like, I think it's so cool, but like, I cannot do it.
Oh,
you know?
To answer that part, and then we can go back to the first part, because I want to talk about, because we'll talk about the red jacket. But yeah, I feel like every style that I don't wear, I think is cool. But I've tried it, man. Like, I've tried the big pants. I had the North Face Purple Label pants that were roomier, you know what I mean? Like no shape to the leg, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as much as I love that look on other people, Alec bought them from me. I like them on him. I like them when I see them styled. It doesn't work with me. I mean, bro, I wear green fatigues or black fatigues and a denim jacket or a hoodie or a sweatshirt. And that's pretty much what I've been relegated to, because most other things make me uncomfortable. So there's a lot of things that I see. I like when dudes wear like a nice pair of flowy pants from La Mer and like a nice lightweight shirt, but like texturally, sensory wise, I can't, that's just not my thing. It's not how I don't feel comfortable in it. I don't feel like I'm presenting myself in a way that I feel comfortable physically. And so it's just too much for me. And so I've accepted that, and now I know my lane that I feel good in. But what about you? Like, is there ways that you'd like, for instance, I think perfect. I think you see like a Yoji Yamamoto fit, unbelievably cool. And on the right person, it is the coolest look, you know? Never in a million years would I be able to wear that and complete the same look. You know what I mean?
I mean, I have a friend who like only wears it. He's not specific about design, like the where he designed that, but it has to be Edie Slimane. If it's not Edie Slimane, he doesn't wear it. Like, if he didn't design it, he won't wear it.
Yeah.
And like, that stuff would never. I could drop 50 pounds and it's not going to work on me, right? I mean, it's just like, it's just not built for, like, I'm not super tall. I'm not naturally super thin, you know what I mean? And like, if you're not like those things, it's not really working for you.
Yeah, dude.
But when I see it on people, I'm like, that's really cool. Like, I think it's
on
so,
the people
so
that
cool.
works on it, it is such a sick like aesthetic.
Yeah,
you know, like rock star shit. You know what I mean?
Well, and sometimes I struggle with color because I think I'm drawn to it, but when it actually comes to wearing it, it just sits in my closet then. And
that's what I was
going
to say about the red jacket. Back to the red jacket is like, I too love that jacket.
I know exactly how I'd wear it. Like, I know what I would put it with.
Like wash jeans?
I want it being like, yeah, I mean, I think that it's like that specific type of red looks so nice with like dark or light blue, and I have plenty of that.
Play it in like an ivy colorway, you know?
And then I would just want like a really like flat either canvas or leather black shoe with white socks and a white tee, and that's the whole kit. It's I have the system to do this, you know.
And
works
like,
into
I think
my
khaki
shit.
pants would look sick with it, like tan
totally,
pants.
Yeah, I can. Well, that's a little Target employee, but yeah, but I mean, it would look good.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of like, even like a white pant, like an off-white pant, could look really nice, you know. Yeah, it works in. I know exactly how to play it,
and it's lightweight enough you could wear it in the summer too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's Woolmax or whatever, so it's
we wear the same clothes year round.
Yeah, I don't
more
really
layers. In the winter,
I mean, other than there's like a couple jackets that go in and out, but but I think that's the issue for me a little bit sometimes, of like, it disrupts this entire like system I'm collecting or building or whatever. Like, how do I know? Like, I mean, look, I know it doesn't matter. It does, because these are made up rules. I know it, like, I'm all good with that portion of things. The question for me now is like, if I do that, I struggle with you, I think, have the same issue of like completism, like, or it's like, well, that's one rule, that it's broken, so now is the whole levee coming down now, you know?
It would, no matter how much I like the thing, it would likely sit in my closet as an albatross.
See, I know that I would wear it. Yeah. I'll wear it because I'll work it in. It's just, now it's like, is everything else I was working on and collecting, is that all? Do I need to throw it all out?
No. I don't think it's zero sum. I think that you've made yourself an outline, but like you said, it's a rule you made up. You have full freedom to do and choose whatever you want. I just think you've made yourself the framework, you know, the wireframe of the website, and now you know where you can fuck around. There's no problem working in something splashy. You would wear it a lot, dude.
Yeah, but that's what starts to get on top of you with these commitments. Which is why, like, I feel like everyone who says they're gonna make one, there's only like, out of every 10 people who says it, it's like one that actually does it.
Yeah, and because you know the person, you can.
Yeah, because there's so, like, I really struggle with that, like, with commitment to like a thing. you know, like this kind of thing at least, you know what I mean? But like it's like as soon as I want to go the other, like, oh, like I like this idea of this look that I have in my mind that I want to wear. Do I bail on everything though because maybe that makes more sense to me? You know what I mean? And I struggle with that. Like I do it to myself where it's like, you know, maybe that's not the look and I need to build a whole new thing.
Yeah.
You know?
I completely understand.
But where I'm at now, this is the most I've like consistently worn the stuff that's in my closet. Like I'm actively wearing everything in there like regularly and mixing it up more than I normally do. Whereas like when you've got like a bunch of outlier pieces, which I've had a closet full of them. I've had to purge it out for like the past couple of years because it was just like so many like random things.
Yeah, dude.
And like I
Did
like
you hang
all
on to
of them,
for whatever reason.
But then like if the pants that go best with that aren't really like I'm not into those right now, well then now the jacket's not getting worn either.
Agreed. Yeah.
You know, and then I have that issue. So now then it kind of goes to the wayside for X amount of time because it's like, well, it doesn't fit into with the rest of the shit I'm wearing, and you know, I know ultimately it doesn't matter because I you know, I think. Some people just buy stuff and are like, I have this like big closet I go to and I go, here's this type of stuff and here's this type of stuff. And I like that for people because you can, you know, go in and, you know, put together whatever you're feeling that day.
Yeah.
But I like to keep things smaller. You know what I mean? So then that's where I struggle on that side of like, well, I don't want to have a ton of stuff. I don't want to have like these looks and this look. But do I want to like mix it up because we're coming out of fall? I don't know. I don't know what to do. The red jacket has become this thing in my head that's like effing me all up. I was so rock solid before this, and now every time I walk past it, I'm like, fuck, I like that jacket. It's gonna sell.
Would you be getting rid of shit to get it, or you would just get it in addition to? I think that's the move. Get it, dude.
Maybe, but there's a lot of black and brown jackets out there, baby.
Well, and I was gonna say the Lemaire jacket. You might be wondering, is it trucker jacket, dark chocolate?
Nope. It's called like chestnut or it's got a nut name.
Zipped bluson walnut.
Yeah, there we go. Walnut.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Zip bluson walnut. Technical gilet.
That's a vest.
Yeah. But is it G or is it gilet or gilet?
I think it's Gillet.
Gillet. I'm an idiot.
It's like the name Garrett.
Garrett.
So I don't know. The red jacket's got me all screwed up, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. The world will have to, you know, wait with bated breath because I don't know. Is that the right term? Bated breath?
Yeah, that's it. Did you see that email we got 28 minutes ago?
Probably. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Traveling?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Yeah, bated breath.
I needed one more thing, so this is perfect.
It's like, God damn it. All right.
Yeah. Anything else? Like, what else do we got going? Like that. That's really that's where I'm at with that. I just
to
wrote it
wrap
down
that
of like,
thought up.
yeah.
I think that you should give yourself the leeway to experiment with the red jacket.
Maybe I'll try.
And this
it
is your
on.
first time to dip a toe, so to speak. And if it doesn't work out, or it's too much mentally, which I know it sounds silly, but I get what you're saying.
Look,
it
let's
can
not
be too
pretend like
much.
this isn't a thing when you're listening. If you're this deep into the podcast, you're fine with this line of thinking.
Yeah, and if it's too much, you can move it for what you paid for it. You know, buying it from Canoe Club. So luckily for you,
we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. Or I just keep all the funds allotted for the system I already got moving.
Hey, baby, you know I got PayPal money hitting tomorrow.
What do you mean hitting tomorrow?
Some people paid me in Venmo, so I transfer it to my bank and then transfer it to PayPal. It has to be. Have
you spoken with your accountant? Or are you?
When we get off, I got a meeting with my guy at H&R Block.
Yeah.
So it for me, it has to be separate because if that money were to hit my bank account, it's as good as done. I'm shoveling it away. You know what I mean? I will not spend it.
I mean, I agree with you there. Like, it's not any money that goes to the bank account. It's done.
So because the thing is, I made transfers to PayPal at the same time that I transferred money from Venmo to my bank account, so that I never saw that large number hit. Because if I saw that number, then it's like, well, fuck, dude, I don't want to have less than this number. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's a me thing that I got to work through. But
well,
yeah. What time are we at on this bad Larry? 1:10.
We're looking good. I got a pod question in here.
Yeah.
I read it, and here's the only thing. I was like, we've basically not talked about this specifically, but this is all we talk about. So I feel like this is fine.
Great.
But any childhood classic outfits I think we've kind of touched on this like a little bit.
Yeah.
And then what are your feeling on cool kids clothes? I wasn't sure exactly what they meant by that. Like if that was like clothes for like my daughter, or if there was like, what did the cool kids wear? You know what I mean?
That's an interesting thing. We maybe touched on this, but like, if my beautiful mother is listening, she kept me well outfitted. There are a lot of photos of me in full denim kits.
Mm-hmm. That was a big thing in like the.
Yep, and it's photos of
90s,
me in like a
early
denim
2000s.
kit, photographed in front of a pumpkin and some squash. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, classic.
At J.C. Penney's or where the like. So denim kits. Kindergarten, I had what I called were my P shorts. We talked about this. They were denim shorts long past the knee that had a black and white stripe on the outseam and that had a graffiti P embroidered on it. And I just thought that was tight.
What do you think the first time you took like an outfit picture was? Like, what were you showcasing? What did you think? Like, the world needs to see this. I got to take a picture of it.
It probably is out here, man. Like, I wasn't taking outfit photos.
Never once. Like, what were the MySpace photos? They're just you crowd surfing and shit?
Yeah. Or it was me with my mom's little ass digital camera with the flash on in front of our mirror in our finished basement, just looking ahead like this, taking 400 of them, you know, and then trying to find one that you don't look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
flash
trying to
out.
hit that flash hard so it covers up any like facial issues you're dealing with.
100%. So the first fit photo, I'm really not sure. It would have been somewhere in college.
I was trying to think of like the first time where I was like, all right, we gotta get the outfit involved in the photo that we're using for whatever it is. I mean, I think like band pics were like a big deal, so it was like very much about like what band shirt are you wearing in the band.
Sure
thing.
Yeah, like obviously everybody was working towards wearing that Nails tee or that Jane Doe Converge tee. Those were obviously the two approved.
Man, I'm trying to think. I mean, a lot of it was like local bands that you'd have like really bad like screen printed T-shirts from. I feel like that was very cool to like, because you're like, oh, we're with those guys, you know what I mean, or whatever. So I guess that was probably some of that going on. I think that it definitely had a time where like the brand Penguin was very cool. Like to have we had to wear polos at school at one point. This only happened. That lasted for like a year because they did not enforce it. But you had to wear like polos or collared shirts, basically.
Oh shoot, I'm not familiar with Penguin at all. This is tight though.
They were kind of like vintagey looking. It was very popular, and they were like not expensive but not cheap, you know. Yeah. And it was kind of like at the time, at least where I'm from, it was like kind of like a unique thing, you know.
Yeah.
This would have missed you, I would imagine, age-wise.
Sure.
And I feel like there's got to be a photo somewhere of me in like girl jeans and a Penguin shirt that I thought like this is fucking cool. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it was just like, you know, vintage top, jeans, and like Vans. Yeah. So realistically, it's not drastically far off of what I'm doing now, but I think that was the first time where I was like, yeah, this is tight. Yeah. I remember like diesel jeans were very cool. It's very cool to have diesel jeans with the little stripe on the pocket. Yeah. That's how you knew if you were rich or not. Yeah. I saved up for so long to get diesel. Plus, it was the first time I ever saw like skinny jeans that weren't like hot rodded boy jeans or girl jeans. Yeah. So it was a big deal, dude. Yeah. I had those. They were way too long.
Do you remember your first pair of skinny jeans? Like when you stepped out of your comfort zone?
Boy jeans sutured to work, which is just like pair of Levi's and then sewing machine at an angle. Yeah. You know what I mean? That was like the first version. Those looked really bad. Yeah. But that's what people were doing. And then the novelty of like, oh, you can just buy like girl jeans as long as they don't got stuff on the butt, and we're good to go. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And then we did that.
My first girlfriend was in 7th grade, and she had gotten in with like the crew of kids from a school over that loved Motion City Soundtrack and Postal Service, and they were big into girl jeans.
Indie kids, yeah.
And my mom was not super keen on me getting girl jeans. So I went to American Eagle and got a pair of skinny jeans that had a bunch of tears and paint splatter and shit, my knees poking out. And I remember wearing them in my girlfriend's house first time, and she goes, those aren't skinny at all. And I I was like, son of a bitch. Will you just straighten my hair so that we can go so we can get out of here?
That's the issue though, is that like the skinniness that you were looking for to get it punk, they did not offer to guys. No. You know what I mean? Because that was a crazy thing at a time. Yeah. And I'm like older than you, so especially that hit and was like, that's why we had to do it with like a sewing machine. Yeah. Like, so one friend's mom had a sewing machine in her unfinished basement, and we just went, if you basically point it this direction and ran it into the crotch, it'll be skinnier. Yeah. And that was like the first
Would you cut off excess fabric? Did you even turn them inside out?
We turned him inside out.
Yeah.
We knew that was the trick there. Yeah. And only one kid knew how to operate the machine at the time.
Yeah, of course.
So he was basically, he had the monopoly on it.
Tight.
And you had to kind of like know him.
Yeah.
And he went over there and just terrible job. They would come undone. It was a whole thing. You'd cut off the excess fabric of the, on the inside. It was a whole, and then someone was like, if you just, we would like kind of, you couldn't just ask. I was going to ask a cool kid where he got his skinny jeans. Are you out of your mind? Would rather have died on the spot.
Yeah.
So eventually we'd heard through the grapevine that like American Eagle girl jeans don't have stuff on the butt. And we're like, boom, done. And then we went over there, paid our $40, and out we went with skinny jeans.
Easy. Skinny
and
jeans.
it wasn't for like another 4 years after that until like there was like boy skinny jeans.
Yeah, for sure. Because I remember we did get a PacSun in our mall at one point, and I would buy bullheads. They were the whether it was PacSun brand or it was the brand sold. It were like PacSun's in-house brand bullhead denim, and I remember I liked those. And I would skate in them and shit.
CCS magazine eventually had on offer. Skinny, like it was always like skinny corduroys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In fact, you know what? I bought a pair of skinny brown corduroys from CCS. It was around the time of, it was when the Barracks, do you remember the Barracks? We've talked about this. It was the first time the Barracks had, I don't remember the name of the contest, but basically it was around the time that YouTube started getting really popular, and it would be a bunch, let's say the three of us were really into skateboarding. We were all the same age, and you'd film your crew's skate video. And then you would submit it to the Barracks, and every week they'd release it, and there'd be votes or but long story short, this era of skateboarding I remember because it was at the pinnacle of caring about skateboarding. And I bought a pair of brown corduroys because I wanted to wear black skate shoes with white sole, skinny ass brown corduroys, and a big ass white shirt. And I would just go, skate the little manual pad in front of the library or skate the little quarter pipe at the skate park endlessly. But brown cords, that was very much like a moment in time in the skate world.
My entire like color scheme situation that I've committed to is really, yes, of course it's influenced by like Lemaire and the Row and brands like it. But the very second there is any kid that like had an America shirt and brown.
I was just gonna say like
and
Baker
black
kids.
shoes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Very
Baker
much
and Death
that.
Wish kids. Yeah.
That came after me by a little bit.
Yeah.
Like that was a slightly younger group than me. But
Yeah.
yes, 100%. It's just that was the look. It was like Dickies, black canvas shoes, black T-shirt, black like crop jacket.
Yep.
And I still think that's very cool look to me.
It's so sick, man. It's so sick.
I don't know if it actually is that cool, but in my head, I think it's cool, and the people I know thought it was cool, so
yeah,
it's still there for me.
Yeah. It's like the first time you saw somebody wearing like black jeans and a denim jacket, and I was like, well, that's it, dude. I don't really need it. And I still truthfully feel that way. That if because I've talked about this. It's like if I didn't work in fashion, how much of it would I consume? And I think that legitimately, I would buy a denim jacket I love, like that Viz one or the Cottle one, a pair of black or green fatigues and Vans. And I could do that every day. I don't need to ever.
I think the
switch up.
reality is like if I had never worked in it, you know what I mean? Like in fashion, I'd be so much deeper into fashion. Actually,
you think?
I think so because then it's not a job. I love working in what we do, and I care about all this stuff deeply. But then what I do in my free time is not this.
No,
you know
I guess
what I mean?
you're right.
Like it's because I get my fill.
We spend so much time putting the product on Shopify, photographing it, talking about it, buying it, budgeting for it, that when you go home, I'm with you. I'm not like, I'm not looking at fucking jackets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I look at jackets when we buy them from the brand, and then I forget about it, and it comes in, and then I am excited again. But that I'm not really shopping in my off time. You know what I mean? So it makes sense.
It's not really necessary.
No,
the things I get are from here.
Anyway.
You know what I mean? The looking at other things is more about business stuff, and it's a different energy you have with it because it's like I think again I feel very lucky to work in it. I care about it a lot, obviously, but it can be a little. I think if it was not a job, I would be way more like deep, like obsessed.
That does make sense because there's so many people in our community that are really, really deep into it that don't work in fashion, and I guess that's a good point. When they're done with fashion, is the release.
It's their outlet,
is the hobby. That is the thing they're looking into and reading about and learning about. Which for us, it's like I don't want to think about clothes when I'm done here. I love clothes and I do think about them, but I'm not looking at not shopping. I'm not window shopping because I know what we got coming, and I've already that money spent 8 months ago. Like there's shit that I know I'm buying in fall from Harrell that the money's already spent. You know, I don't need to think about that jacket because when it comes, it's mine.
Well, and that's the other thing. But I still think I still deal with the same trickiness of like I'll have that in my head, and then it'll come and I try to. And I'm like, that wasn't what I thought it was gonna like how it was gonna fit me or whatever.
In that
you know
moment,
what I mean?
how do you feel? Do you feel relieved or do you feel bummed?
I don't care. It's just there's always gonna be something else.
If I try something on and it doesn't fit, I'm like, well, so be it. We'll sell it then. And that's as far as I think about it. I don't give a shit. There's so much. There's so much to buy and have that if it doesn't work out, it's all good.
People forget that like the consuming aspect is part of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, so the in and out is sort of part of the whole equation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't really care because it's never going, as far as I've set myself up, it's not really going to stop at any point. No. So, you know, I think what would be wild is to like, for me personally, it's the only thing I've ever done to just stop working in fashion suddenly. I don't know what that would, I don't know if then I just like kind of become uninterested in it or if it's, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think I could ever become uninterested in it because I care about it so much as like art.
Well, all of a sudden you're not gonna have intention with the clothes you wear.
Yeah.
You know, you might have less of it, or maybe you have more, dude. You know,
maybe. I mean, the only other temptation I ever have with clothes is honestly just either occasionally when we're in Japan or eBay. I just like vintage stuff a lot, so. I can see getting a little crazier with vintage as opposed to like working as much in designer, just because suddenly I'll just be transparent. I'm paying full price, so I might be a little more on the vintage tip than I have been.
Yeah,
but,
I mean that's a good point, and that's something that I'm not at all acquainted with, even slightly. Is vintage clothing. I don't know anything about vintage Levi's or I know nothing. I know nothing about it. Vintage brands. I would
like that you
recognize
can get
Woolrich
steals
and
if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I like that like. It's a little bit of a gamble. I think that's kind of fun.
I think the hunt is exhilarating. It's I think that would be fun.
You know your measurements and you're really good. Like you get stuff and you're like, this is like tailor made for me.
Yeah.
Like I don't have any jeans that like weren't basically. I don't put them on. I'm like these are basically like perfect for me. Like, I didn't do anything to them. So I think that like when you get good on that front, that's great. And then the other stuff you get it and you're like sometimes I get a sweater that I'm like absolutely fucking perfect, like that just absolutely fits me exactly how I wanted it to. And sometimes you get shit like couple in a row coming in and you're like trash, dude, which does not fit. You know what I mean? So that's like, but that's
but
kind
you spent what, $12 on some of them and shit?
I mean, in some cases I'm getting like crazy details and I'm never going too crazy. I won't make huge investments because that's obviously you can't return them and but yeah, I mean, I think that I'd be a little nuttier in that category, but other than that, I don't think I would never stop paying attention to it. Participating is a different thing to me than like I really like reading about it and knowing what's going on and wearing it's sort of secondary to me, to be honest with you. I like the business that it is. I like who we get to support. I like knowing I like watching fashion shows every year and everything, like just paying attention to it. Yeah. That's like it's like secondary than the consumption of fashion. Yeah, that's to me. I like the one actually more than the other is the God's honest truth. I'm sure I'll eventually just settle into some, t-shirt and jeans sort of situation where it's like, it's nice stuff, but I only wear those two things. And, I'm not really, it's not about consuming it. I just like paying attention to it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Cause I think everyone's working towards a time when they're like, all right, I think I've completed what I'm going to do and what my style is. And I know, and I'm a little bit more committed. I think that doesn't happen until you're a lot older, quite frankly. I think you just
I think I'm there. And
no,
I would have said that
bullshit,
2 years ago,
bullshit.
Here's the thing.
You've gone back on rules you made in 2025 already.
Like what?
I don't know. I'm just making as if that's not right.
I think that I will likely be wearing fatigues, black pants, and denim jackets for the remainder of my life. I'd be very surprised if I all of a sudden was not wearing denim jackets. I've been doing denim jackets since I was 18.
I think there's like things
my main thing.
I think there's like categories you have like mainline in, but like I don't know. Like what if your
fits might change or
I mean life changes in general. Like what if you make a shitload more money or what if you make a lot less money? Or what if what if things just, your work changed like we're saying and suddenly like that's not really a focus and you know what I mean? Like or you need certain things so you just kind of get used to different stuff. I mean like you're also just going to see some trend thing that happens that changes a little bit and then that shifts things, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. And then you just sort of like change, you adapt. I think that like personal style is more about like the adaptation that you have and how you can still be Chase in whatever you adapt to.
Yeah.
You know?
That's fair.
But the idea that you're like done is insane. You're fucking
not done,
30.
but I really, from the bottom of my heart believe I could close my eyes and see a snapshot of myself in 2035. I'm probably, and I can see
Chase,
my closet.
Think
It's probably
about
really
this.
similar.
I met you 8 years ago, right? 7 years ago, 8 years ago. Let's say 7.
Honestly, Timbo, it's over 8. Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Let's call it 8.
Yeah.
The way you dressed was entirely fucking different. Entirely different.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not saying
I
you
was
don't
wearing,
still have some of those same category of things, but you wouldn't.
I was wearing
deign
leather
to
boots
touch
exclusively. I was wearing a belt on my pants, which I'll be goddamned if I ever do again. I was wearing my little
Don't
white
ask the
t-shirts
reasons.
tucked in. Yeah,
Inappropriate.
Wearing my little white t-shirts tucked in. Yeah, it was definitely different. You're right. It was definitely different.
That was 8 years ago.
There were nuggets of similarities though. Denim jackets were still my.
You won't even be 40 by the time in 8 more years, right? How old are you?
I'll be 40.
You'll be 40 exactly,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna do an entirely different flop.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, luckily we have this in audio format that will stay somewhere.
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
I'll just pull this up.
I'm
not wrong. I'm 100% right.
5+ years after the fact of this episode being recorded and you are somehow listening to this episode, get in touch with me because I want to know. Just say, hey, shoot me an email.
Mm-hmm.
Chase@shopcanoeclub.com. I'll still be here.
I'm not saying you won't have some of the same, like, core things.
Mm-hmm,
Not saying that.
Yeah.
They'll change by a ton.
Yeah.
Color, fit, fabric, blah, blah, blah. You know? But the vibe will have shifted. No question.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm right. I just am in this scenario.
Yeah.
I like where your head's at. I like your dedication, but I've
Yeah.
seen you change in the past 2 years, literally.
Yeah, no, I moved a lot of clothes. I've moved a lot of clothes in the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you think's going to happen in another 5?
Yeah, I guess we'll just see.
Jesus Christ, stubborn as a fucking goat.
As a mule.
As a mule.
As a mule deer.
That's what I was trying to think of. As a mule deer. Okay. What do we need to do to wrap up?
Shit, hit us up. He was making a motion. I was trying to see what he was trying to motion. Hit us up. We got a lot of stuff on the way. Keep your ears and eyes out. If you're part of Patreon, obviously, sale's going to bump at the end of this week. Tomorrow, at the point of this airing, we got more product on the way. Like I said, big shipment of Orslow, and then we have a thing that we'll probably next week put out a little information about.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably.
Other than that, share this shit with your friends. Thanks for listening. Like a lot of people hit me up and say, "Oh, love the pod," and I so flattering and it's really funny. So thank you for listening. If you're one of those people. Other than that, yeah, be in touch. Hit us with some suggestions, topics you want us to talk about. About. So, yeah.
If there's ever a situation where you're like, oh, I'd love to hear their opinions on X, Y, or Z, or you want us to pay attention to some news thing going on, or there's anything that like you want specifically for us to cover or whatever, we're completely open to suggestions. So
Yeah.
keep us posted.
Yeah.
All right.
That's about it.
We're good?
I think we're good.
Oh, you know what? Let me do a couple shout outs really quick.
Oh, do some shout outs.
Yeah, let me do some shout outs. I wanted to shout out who do I want to shout out first? Okay, let's shout out Ben. Ben, I won't say his last name. I never know if people like to. Am I okay to say his name?
I think
Ben?
you're fine to say
it's
it.
Ben. It's a very general
It's in his
name.
handle. Yeah.
He sent me, he asked me if I wanted this like movie poster from the Brutalist that he had access to or whatever. And I said, oh yeah, sure, man, that would be great. You know? And then he added a bunch of little things in there for us.
Candies, candles.
Little stickers.
Yeah.
He gave me a great like gouge away tape. And I feel like there's some other stuff in there. It was incredibly nice. People do not need to do that despite what Ding Dong says over here.
Hey, it's always loved.
It's not. Listen, I'll give him that. He very much appreciates it. It's insanity. Don't do it. We don't need anything.
It does make me feel a little guilty. I will feel it in my chest when somebody sends us a bunch of Omaha steaks. Now, I would be happy. That feeling would be very happy. But I would also feel a little guilty that somebody spent an arm and a leg on some Omaha steaks.
Cut him off.
So anyway, shout out Ben for the gear. What else?
DG, we got the red light going.
Yes,
We're
sir.
fully
Shout
addicted
out
to the red light. A
DG.
bunch of other gang of shit that's
Yeah.
been great, but that red light I'm really addicted to.
Yeah, DG, we haven't texted you and told you, but Timbo turns this on. It was on all day yesterday. And we
I
sat
just
in here
leave
and
it
cycle in.
yeah.
And if I have to sit down and crank, do some computer work, I come in here and sit in it. We all love it. Gia likes it. It's really dope.
Yep.
So
I
shout out the
I had
red
to turn
light.
it off before we did this because it made me look like the goddamn devil in the
Yeah,
thing.
it was crazy. It was crazy, yeah.
I thought there was one more. Is there one more? I thought somebody else sent us something. Am I making I got everybody?
Well, your mom sent us the Schwann truck, so again.
Yeah, we did that one though.
Shout out Timbo's mom. Thank you for sending
That
that.
Schwann truck. Sits
Shout
right
out
where
my
the desk.
beautiful mother because she listens to the pod. Shout out my beautiful sister because she listens to the pod. Love them both.
Yep.
If anybody else has sent us anything?
I don't know. I thought there was one more, but I guess I can't think of it. I didn't write it down. So
Yeah.
those two fellas, thank you so
Yeah.
much. Really appreciated. You're awesome.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Should we go do something else?
Yeah, let's go get to it. We got a lot of work we can do. Actually, today's a really good day. This is internal,
If you start
but I'm
talking
happy
about
to
the
share
soup
it.
again,
No,
then we are shutting it off.
We're all going to get that soup when we hang up here. But it's a good day because, Timothy, we got some new racks from Uline recently, got our box shipments. By the time we leave this building today, we are going to be on top of it, pal. Hyper organized. In the best way it's ever been in the history of Canoe Club. We have this new plan for our racks and shit. This is completely internal, as I said. But I am super stoked. I thought about it this morning of like, I'm hyped to do the reset. It's the feeling we're going to have when we leave tonight is going to be sick. So that's about it. And I do need to hop onto the sewing machine. I need to get the sewing machine going because we had it serviced by my boy in town who he's my boy. And a quick shout out to him. If you have denim repair needs, you got old machines you want to sell or you're looking for, this is your guy. So if you want me to connect you, I'm not going to shout him out on here because I don't know if he wants me to do that. Shoot me an email and I'll connect you via email. This dude has, he had a Nissan Datsun truck that was pieced together from others, 60s, 70s, old ass Nissan Datsun pieces that he's piecing together, making a vehicle. He had 2 or 3 of the denim hemming machine that we have, an old darning machine, machines to do proper triple stitching, buttonholes, belt suspender. This man has it all. If you're keen or interested in that, let me connect you to this guy. Fixed our machine, should be running really well. I'm really excited. So I'm going to do that. I'm done, though, rambling. We can wrap up here.
He did about a solid 25 when he first got back from this guy's shop. So
it had me completely it rearranged. It was just crazy. This dude had so much shit, man. So much shit, and it's just so deep.
The way you qualify things is the strangest thing I've ever seen.
For me, and I can explain it pretty clearly. It was some random little fucking area northwest of Denver, and this garage was brimmed with vintage sewing machines, things that he had told me he picked out of ponds, fucking sanded down, refurbished, refinished the surface.
Do you think he's scrubbing with magnets? Like those guys do. They always find guns.
Timbo, listen, just from the hour conversation I had with this dude, I wouldn't be surprised if he's found 100 guns in ponds. You know what I'm saying? He's just that guy to just he's got it all. He also had sign painted in his life. When we paid him on Venmo for servicing the machine, his little avatar was a picture of One Shot. So it was like, this dude's kind of done it all. You know what I mean? So I was fascinated by the tactile nature of everything he had. Everything was old.
You love a hobbyist. You know what I mean?
I totally identified with this dude. And he had a nice ass car too. So I was like, damn dog, you're really doing it right.
So if you have a nice car, doesn't matter the year, doesn't matter anything, as long as it's
Timbo,
as it's categorized in his mind as nice.
Timbo, you would agree this car's nice.
I don't have a problem. Who gives a shit? It's to you. It doesn't. But nice could mean that it's like a fucking
BMW M2 would be like the
Evo
nicest,
or whatever they had on
a Lancer.
Yeah,
a Lancer Evo would be tight.
To you, that is no different
MR?
than whenever the highest end Mercedes is. Those are the same car to you. So this is a wild sliding scale for you.
Yeah.
And then you've got a bunch of stuff in a garage. That's probably good enough. We could stop there as far as how if you're rating someone on a scale of 10, they've already hit 10.
You've got me pinned down. You know. Yeah. Yeah. So in fact, I wish I had a 2-car garage. Just as
For what, you can't even put your car in it now. What are you going to do with 2?
Well, I would be able to do it. I'd have one side for junk, one side for car.
One side for junk. That area is junk.
No, here's the thing: is you understand because Abby and I are alike, and you and Michelle are alike. I got a lot of bullshit, and I really just got this spring. I'm taking everything out of the garage, putting it on the back patio, and I'm going to be really brutal about it. And then the rest of it can go in a box for free in the front of the driveway, and someone will go take it. You know what I mean? I got too much shit. So, also looking ahead to the future, we might be having to put a little something in that garage. You know what I mean?
What? Jesus Christ. Just shoehorning things. All right, shut it off. We're done.
Let's go.
We're done for the day.
Let's get out of
here.
here.
Let's go.
Bye.
Bye.